Michael Huggins is our trainer this morning. And, I started the call this morning with some music that hopefully spoke about leadership, with some thoughts on leadership. And I liked the final thought that becoming a leader is becoming yourself. And it's just that simple and it's just that difficult. So, one of the things that I've liked about Michael is he has made it easier for us to become the natural leader in us. He has provided us with the Audible account, with how many books there, how many hours and hours of self self improvement. He is always got advice on another good book to read that'll help us become our best self. That'll help us become the business leader that we want to be for our own business, for those in our team, for our team Renatus to Elevate all over the country. And this morning, Michael's with us. We're so glad to have you here, Michael. How are you this morning?
Good morning, loving life. How are you guys out there? Welcome to Money Monday. All right, so let me share my screen here. Welcome, guys. If this is your first time on the call, welcome. Congrats. It's a great place to be. And if you are returning, well, congrats again. You know, life out there, people are always discouraging, and then you come here and you get some encouragement. So way to go, sticking with it. I want to wrap up from what we were talking about last Monday and then give you guys a simple script that we've been using over and over and over and over, and it's getting us some good results. And then we'll go apply it for the rest of the day, the rest of the week. Okay, here we go. By the way, did you guys know it's Bob Snyder's birthday? What? Maybe you should say something. Okay, here we go. So we had talked earlier about we talked earlier about a couple of these other leadership laws. And then the one that we stopped on was the law of self. Or the law of the mirror, and how we're looking at what's going on in the mirror, what's going on with ourselves. So here we are, Monday morning, our week has started. Got a holiday this week. We have a lot of things going on this Saturday, depending on what city you're in. And how are you looking at it? What is your perspective on it? Because life is perspective. And if you're looking at it as an employee, you're looking at it as a CEO, you're looking at it as a champion, or you're looking at it as a victim, right? Perspective is huge. So here's what we know. We know that your view of yourself determines your behavior. And we also know that you will perform exactly to that self-image. The other thing is, whatever value we put on ourselves, others put on us. So if we think we're worth $50 an hour, $10 an hour, $500 an hour, whatever we put on ourselves, that's what people will treat us like. Okay, it's just something you got to know. So I know there's people who've been in for weeks, months, some years, and they're like, why isn't it working? Why? How come this person's making money, but this person's not? How come this person's doing deals and this person's not? How come this person? Well, here's why. It's their view of themselves that's determining their behavior. So when you look at different students who are having record-setting years, their first year they're having record-setting years. Why is that? Because of their self-image, how they're viewing themselves. Because that behavior, if you think then you'll just do okay with this, then you're not going to get up at 5 a.m. You're not going to get up and stay up late if you think it's just going to barely make it. So when we're changing our self-image, it's an absolute. This will absolutely work. And when you understand that, down to your core, then it'll drive your behavior differently. You'll get up, you'll talk to those strangers, you'll make those offers, you'll watch those classes, you'll do the things, you'll do the behavior. We're trying to go after a behavior change. So we got to change what's going on the inside if we want to change what's going on the outside. So John Maxwell said, if you place a small value on yourself, rest assured, the rest of the world will not raise the price. So putting value on ourselves, some people have heard me say it before that, you know, I'm $1,000 an hour. You want me to work on something with you or for you? Great. I'll do it for $1,000 an hour. No big deal, right? It's only what, $125 for every 6 minutes or something like that. $100 for every 6 minutes. I'm cool with that. But if you think you're only worth $10 an hour, then that's what you'll get paid. If you're only worth $12 an hour, $15 an hour. And some people have a hard time saying, yes, I'm $1,000 an hour, even though they haven't done a deal yet. But I'm telling you, if you started thinking you're $1,000 an hour, people would want to do deals with you. Okay, here's some steps. Take a screenshot of this. Here are the steps for building self-esteem, the thing that we need to make our behavior change. So first is guarding self-talk. We talked a lot about that. Now, why do you think we talk a lot about self-talk? Probably because it's at the top of the list. Top of the list, guys. How are you talking about yourself to yourself? And if you're a good listener, if you're an area leader, you're going to listen to that self-talk of your teammates and how they talk to themselves. And if it's powerful, great. If it's not, do something about it. Don't just let your teammates have weak language all the time. Every once in a while, sure, they're in front of a guest or somebody. You don't want to embarrass them. But as soon as you have them where you can talk to them, say, hey, make sure this language about yourself is only positive. I don't care if it's a joke, right? Some people joke about how they can never get something right, or how they always screw this up, or they joke about how they're clumsy, or they joke about how they can't ever remember someone's name or a script or something. But that kind of joking around about yourself actually ends up hurting yourself. So make sure you're guarding self-talk. The other thing is comparing. I remember I used to compare myself to all sorts of people. And even when I was in the business, I'd already been in for 2 years, 2.5, something like that. I found John O'Neill, and I watched what he did his first year. And then I thought about my first year, and I started comparing myself. You know what? As soon as you compare yourself to someone else, that's probably, it's probably one of the fastest ways to feel like a piece of crap. I think it's a really effective way. It's really effective. It's quick. If you want to feel like a piece of crap, then just go ahead and compare yourself to anybody. Otherwise, let's maintain our maturity and know that we're not here to compare ourselves to anyone. And again, if you're an area leader and you're hearing your teammates and other people talk and they're using that comparative language, then, step in that conversation and just say, hey guys, just want to remind you, no one's here to compare, right? There's no way that you can compare yourself to someone else's results and their timeline and their skills and abilities. If you do want to compare, we compare ourselves to our past selves or to our future selves. Is where I'm at right now. Am I closing the gap on who I want to become? We can make that comparison. The other thing to build your self-esteem is to add value to others. Making sure that in your mind, when you're taking action, it's to value others. It's so that other people have a better business, a better experience, a better understanding, it's all for them. Right? Some of you don't get up early because you think, what's the point? I'm still tired. I don't have to do this until this time. What's the point of getting up? Well, I'll tell you right here, bullet point number 3 is a great reason to get up early, is to add value to others. Some of you, the only reason you're not getting paid is because you're still thinking about yourself and what you need and what you can get, not what others can get, and it's hurting you. So focus on adding value to others. And then another key to building your self-esteem is the self-limiting beliefs. When you say, "Oh, I can't do this," or "I can't do that," or "That'll never work," or "I've never tried it before, I better not try." Those self-limiting beliefs around what it comes down to, I see the most, is talking to people, talking to strangers, going to networking events, going to raise capital from your freaking family reunion, and just you have these self-limiting beliefs of, "Oh, I can't do that, I can't." Well, guess what? Whether you think you can or you think you can't, either way, you're right. This was said by Henry Ford. Either way, no matter how you think about it. That's good news. Did you guys look, take a screenshot of this? This is good news. This is great news. This is probably the best news you'll get all day. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, either way, you're right. I am so grateful for that information. Oh, well, I'll just start thinking that I can. That's easy. I'll stick with that. Okay. Now, in continuing to build our self-esteem, law of the mirror. This is where we can create some distinctions. Because a lot of people will only do the right thing if it's also the convenient thing. Well, I'll do it only because it works with my schedule. Now it's really convenient. Now I can get it done. Don't be like that. Do the right thing, even if it's the hard thing. We could spend the whole week. We could do a whole week series of these morning webinars just on this first bullet point of doing the right thing, even if it's the hard thing. Some people say, "Well, as soon as it gets easier, then I'll start doing more." No, it doesn't work like that. If you start doing the right thing, even when it's a hard thing, it'll be easier to do more things. Henry David Thoreau said, here's a quote. Maybe you guys want to text this to yourself. I found it in my notes the other day, and I was like, "Oh, this is why. This is why it's working." He said, "The compensation." See, we're always worrying about compensation. Where am I going to get paid? What do I get for doing this? What's my compensation? So he said, the compensation for doing, right? We need to be in the mode of doing. So he said, the compensation for doing is the ability to do more. We want to do more, we'll do. So you say, "Well, as soon as more is available, then maybe I'll start doing. As soon as more comes my way, then I'll do more." Again, that's backwards. That's not going to bring you your result. The compensation for doing is the ability to do more. And isn't that what we want? Isn't that what we're here for? Is the ability to do more, whether it's with money, time, resources, people, emotions, impact, energies. We're trying to do more. So the compensation for doing is the ability to do more. So get to doing, even if it's the hard thing. So practicing a small discipline every day is also going to build your self-esteem. Sometimes people say they'll draw a line in the sand, not knowing what kind of effort it's going to take. And they'll say, "You know what? I'm going to stop drinking soda. I'm going to stop doing this. I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to stop swearing. I'm going to start doing this. I'm going to watch my class every day. I'm going to go to the gym every day. Starting tomorrow, I'm going to get it all done." And now they've got 18 new disciplines that they're trying to do. And the first one they don't get right sets a domino effect and they cancel it all. Same thing with gardening. A lot of people, the reason they don't stick to gardening is because they go, "Oh, I'm going to plant this and 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 this." And they get all these plants and all these seeds, and then they're not prepared for taking the weeds. They're not prepared for watering daily and dealing with the fertilization and so they take on way too much, and then no plants grow, nothing all summer. The big mouth, big attitude, big want, big desire, but no discipline. Very small discipline. So it leads to the failure of that project. So plant one thing, plant two things, get those sprouting, get those going. And you'll see, oh, okay, I can add on a little bit here. I can add on a little bit here. Okay. So what small daily disciplines can we start doing that will add up to this compound effect so you can start to get those financial results you're after? I know that's why we're here. Financial results. Other things that are also important, but we're here for finances, right? So what's a small daily discipline we can start doing every day to start building our self-image? Well, over the weekend, I got to spend some time with some IMAs, and a few things that I do, some of the disciplines I have around spending money is always an attitude of gratitude. Right? When we're checking out at the store, no matter what it is, no matter what the price, I just say out loud, wow, what a bargain. So now my discipline around money is, it's a good deal. I'm happy to spend money. I'm happy you're getting my money. This is a bargain. And I started bringing positive energy around my money spending. See, some of you, the reason why you don't get money is because you're also afraid to spend it. And so because you're afraid to spend it, it actually will slow down the economy if you have a bunch of money and you don't spend it. So that's why you don't get it. It's knowing how to spend it, spending it with the right energy, the right attitude, putting it in the right places. So it starts with how you feel about spending money. That was a big thing for me. I always hated it. I was just like, I could probably get it for cheaper down the street. I could always probably find a better deal somewhere else. And so I was always regretting spending money. I was always apprehensive towards spending money. So that daily discipline, years ago, I switched. Every time I spend money, restaurants, gas stations, grocery stores, movie theaters, wherever. What a bargain. What a bargain. Another daily discipline is like what you're doing here, getting on these calls every day. It's not always easy, but it's something daily that's adding up. What about writing in your journal? Some people say, well, as soon as I have something to write about, then I'll write in my journal. But what I'm saying is, if you write in your journal, you'll think of things to think about, to write about. Then you'll get to the writing, and then you'll start solving problems, start preventing problems. You'll start having this vision, this future vision. Sometimes people are amazed at John Maxwell and Bob Snyder's vision, and how can you guys see into the future so well? Part of it is their journaling, their habits of journaling. If you watch Mr. Snyder, he shows up to the regional events and different events around the country. He's always got a journal. He's always got that book with him. So, small daily disciplines. How much is a journal? $10. You probably already have one sitting around you're not using, right? Rip out those few pages you started a few years ago. Pretend like it's a new journal and get it going. Daily disciplines of self-esteem. You have the right esteem, you'll take the right action to get the right result, and you'll just keep doing it again. And taking 100% responsibility for your life. Not 50%, not 60 or 70%. The whole 100% of it. It's got to be yours. Okay, so Sandra just put in there on the topic of discipline, small daily disciplines, is using a calendar and writing down the schedule. That's another big one. Some people just try to run their schedule and run their life off of memory, and they double book appointments, they miss appointments, they miss follow-ups. They screw the whole thing up. And then they have this limited self-image of, oh, well, I don't use calendars. I don't use journals. I don't use this. I don't do that. And they have limited identity. Remember how we were just talking about limits? So don't say I always this or I never that. That's not going to help you hit your results. That's closing off possibilities. So, like Sandra, start writing out your schedule. That's what Vanessa and I do. We do a weekly schedule, and we do our daily schedules. We do our monthly schedules, and we just know what we're doing. There's no guesswork. There's no surprise. It's easy. It's easy now. It was hard to write it down. It was hard to care about writing it down. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't hard to write it down. We can all write. It was hard to care about writing it down. So I'm telling you, care about it now before you start embarrassing yourself with missing appointments. All right, so taking responsibility for your life is a language thing also. Making sure you're not ever saying, well, if I had this person's time, if this hadn't happened, if this. Don't say if this. It's not a responsible life language pattern. It's not something you want to go around saying. If this could happen, who cares? It didn't happen. So it's not, you don't need to say it. Instead, we take 100% responsibility for our lives. What we're wearing, where we're living, what we're driving, what we're eating, who our friends are, who our friends aren't. That's your responsibility. How come these people that you've been wanting to become aren't your friends? And how come the people you're wanting to get away from you still see every day? Again, it's taking responsibility. It's we've talked before about this word, responsible, the ability to respond. Think about if you came over to my house and you were not responsible. Think about this word, responsible, able to respond. You come over to my house and I say something, you don't say anything back. I come over and I poke you, and you don't respond. You're not able to respond, right? I throw some water on you, and I'm like, what the heck's going on? His ability to respond is no longer here. He is not responsible. So what do we tell people who don't have the ability to respond? What do we label them? Don't we label them dead? Isn't that what that means? If you don't have the ability to respond, aren't you dead? Death is taking over. So the logical conclusion to that is, yes, that's what would happen. So since we know that that's the conclusion to not being responsible, let's never use that phrase again. Let's never say, well, I'm not responsible for that. I'm not responsible. Who's responsible? Let's not talk like that. That's the language of the poor. If you understand your ability to respond is your life, then you won't go around shoving responsibility on other people. This is all you, baby. Your past, your present, your future, your emotions, your energies, your schedule. It's all your responsibility, your ability to respond to that. I know some of you don't want to hear that. And you say, well, Michael, if you heard my story and you knew about this and that and this and that, you wouldn't say it's 100% my responsibility. And I probably would. All of our lives are our responsibility. Now, whether we can explain it or not, whether we can see the logic and how it all played out, maybe that path is blurry. Maybe it's hard to see. Doesn't matter. On this planet, your life is 100% your responsibility. As soon as you take that responsibility, then you get to control your life. If not, someone else will control it for you. Okay, talk about that schedule, right? It's so easy to say no to things also. People are like, hey, will you come do this with me? You can just say with a smile, no, I'm busy, I'm all scheduled, I'm all booked up. What schedule organizer do you use? We use a law of attraction planner. I really like it because it has like the monthly check-in questions, see how you're doing. where you're off, where you're on. So I really like that. And as far as what we put on the schedule, it's just a few things. It's our money-making activities. It's the health maintenance. It's fun time, scheduled fun time. When is the next race we're going to? When is the next movie? Right, all that. But then also, I mean, we schedule grocery shopping, and we schedule. I mean, everything's on the schedule. I try to schedule at least 20 hours a week of money-making activities, of finding the people, telling the story, building for events, following up. 20 hours a week. When I had 2 jobs, it was like 2 hours a week. I was trying to squeeze it all in, and I just had to be more efficient with that time. But now, I got the time. Let's ramp it up. Let's make $1 million this year. Who's with me for making $1 million this year? That's what I'm talking about. So when you're thinking about your self-image, about yourself, what mirror are you looking in? Are you looking in the one that's going to show you how you could be a better version of you? Or are you looking at some broken thing that you probably broke, and now you say, look, I'm broken. Really, it's just a broken mirror. Word. All right, now I want to show you this script, which means I gotta change the sharing setting. New share. We're gonna go to the notes. The notes. Here are the notes. Okay. So here's a script that you are 100% responsible for. Oh yeah. Okay, so at the beginning, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna make a list. This is for what you're gonna do today. If you don't have money making on your calendar today and tomorrow, then this is what you're gonna do today and tomorrow. You're gonna make a list of 200 people you know. You're gonna put a star next to the top 25 so that you can pay them a compliment. People love receiving compliments. So the 3 C's of contacting, in case you guys didn't know, the 3 C's of contacting are contraction, compliment, create curiosity, and get a commitment. Wow. Get commitment. Compliment, curiosity, commitment. So you want to be able to give them a compliment right away. By you starring your top 25 out of the 200, aren't you automatically giving them a compliment just like that? So we'll get that out of the way. Compliment, create curiosity, get a commitment. Now that curiosity, you're going to use down here at the bottom of the script. So once you've got your top 25 starred, then we're going to get with your 5-star or your 1-star or your enroller or just someone you like working with, doesn't matter. Right? You could find an IMA you really like and spend a few hours calling. You spend some time on his business, they spend some time on your business. It's all great. So you say, you pick your first phone number. Let's say it's Chuck. Say, hey, Chuck, did I catch you had a good time? No matter what he says, you say, all right, cool. Well, here's the reason why I'm calling. And some people, you cannot scroll. I'm in charge of scrolling, guys. Okay. Here's the reason why I'm calling. Now, you have to say this. Depending on how much time we have, I can go over why every single word is in here. Or you could just follow along and just do what I say. Well, here's the reason why I'm calling. You got to say this because some people are expecting a chit chat. Some people are expecting a catch up. Maybe you haven't talked to this person for 3, 4, 5 years. So don't play catch up and ask them how things are going, how's this, how's that, and then all of a sudden you throw this thing on the side. Oh, well, here's why I'm calling. Do not do that. From the first 10 seconds of the call, here's the reason why I'm calling, and then they go, oh, it's not to catch up. All right, what's on your mind? What are you doing? Here's the reason why I'm calling. And in English, for you guys to understand it, I still have to put a comma and a space, but as it comes out of your mouth, I want it to be like this. No space, no comma, no pausing. Here's the reason why I'm calling. I've been hanging out with someone for a while who is crushing it in real estate. Right now I'm talking to him. He's talking about how he's expanding, and he asked me, who do you know that has a great head on their shoulders, a great work ethic, and a great attitude? I thought of you. See, and again, right here, I want to take out this space and this comma. Great work ethic and a great attitude, I thought of you. No space, no pause, no hesitation, no delay. No space, no delay. You just speak it. I hope you don't mind, but I've got Michael on speakerphone, or I got him on the line with us. I'd love to introduce you. And again, no space right here. I'd love to introduce you. Michael, this is Chuck. Chuck, this is Michael. No spaces in any of this stuff. This is just, you don't take a breath. You just talk. So we're modifying this a little bit here. So I've made hundreds of these phone calls now, and what I've watched my IMAs do is they go, I hope you don't mind, they're speaking, I hope you don't mind, and then they take like 7 breaths, but I've got Michael on speakerphone, and I'd love to introduce you. And then they take so many breaths and so much space that their friend on the other line goes, oh, well, now's not a good time. I'm busy. And now I'm sitting there on the line, and now the IMA is either forced to put me on the phone or ignore their friend and pretend like they didn't hear him. So I put those spaces to represent your breaths. Don't breathe. Just talk. Don't give delay and space. Just talk. So from the top. So he asked me, who do you know that has a great head on their shoulders, a great work ethic, and a great attitude? I thought of you. I hope you don't mind, but I've got Michael on speakerphone with us. Michael, this is Chuck. Chuck, this is Michael. Now, if he's not on speakerphone with you, then don't say that. All right? Sometimes they'll come over to my house and we'll do it together. Or other times, schedules don't line up and we'll just do 3-way calls. Now, you got to remember, when I'm on the line, I'm listening to you say this. Hey, Chuck, did I catch you at a good time? I'm listening to you say this. Well, here's the reason why I'm calling. I've been hanging out with someone for a while who's been crushing it in real estate. Right now, I'm talking to them, and he's talking about how he's expanding. He asked me, who do you know that has a great work ethic, a good head on their shoulders, and a positive attitude? And I thought of you. I hope you don't mind, but I've got Michael on the line with us. Michael, this is Chuck. Chuck, this is Michael. And all that person can do is go, hey, Michael. That's all that person can do. So it's designed just like this so that they go, hey, Michael. And then I get my opportunity to say what I'm going to say. Now, I know it's fun to draw on the screen, but if you just deselect the annotate selection on your menu there, then you won't be drawing on the screen, and then you don't have to pause to clean up your mess. Yeah, how you like that? Your mess, we have to clean it up. Okay, now at this point, you've handed off the phone call to your 5-star, or it doesn't have to be your 5-star. I would do these phone calls with Christian Sadler all the time. We're not on the same, organization for override commissions, but we're still a part of Renatus. So we would do this for each other all the time. Your role is now to shut up and don't interrupt. You're just going to listen. And the 5-star. So if you're the 5-star on the line and you're going, man, I wish I had more leads. Well, this is what you need to do with your peeps, right? You have a lead. You've got 200 more leads per person you do this with. Top 25. So now you say, as the 5-star, as the person who's helping them get some commitments, you say, well, I realized we may have caught you off guard. It was a spur of the moment thing. Your friend was saying some great things about you, and it was me that asked him to call. It was me that asked him to call. Now, if you notice, I didn't pause for these sentences. I didn't pause for this stuff. I took all the spaces out. It's all one big breath. Hey, I realized we may have caught you off guard. It was a spur of the moment thing. Your friend was saying some great things about you, and it was me that asked him to call. It was me that asked him to call. Hope you don't mind. Okay, you got to protect the relationship. Put some parentheses here. Calling was your idea. Make sure somehow you say that immediately. Hey, this is my idea. Then, once you say, yeah, it was my idea, I asked him to call. Because I don't really know where you're at in life and in business, and you may be making more money than you can spend and be really happy, I'll be brief. I'll just briefly describe what we do. The highlights. Don't say the word highlights. In parentheses, you just think, you don't say. Here's what we do. I'm a real estate investor. We're crushing in a residential, commercial, wholesaling, rentals. We've got a great business. We've got a great business. Have you ever thought of investing in real estate? And you're just going to get, you're either going to get yes or no. No matter what they say. If they say yes, then you say, great, what's stopping you? If they say no, you say, great, what's stopping you? Yes or no, no matter what. You say, great, what's stopping you or what's holding you back from taking it to the next level? Great, what's stopping you? Or they say no, you say, you know what? I know someone who never ever thought about real estate, but now they got 5 properties paying them every month. This is where you're going to tell the story and build for events. Now the event could be a house tour in their neighborhood. It could be the weekly opportunity. It could be a live webinar on Wednesday nights. It could be a recorded webinar. Doesn't matter. But tell the story and build for the event and then follow up. And now you got your leads. You know how to share stories. You know how to get people to events. This is an event-driven business. So once people see what's going on and they see who we are, what we do, what value we can bring, they're in. It's designed this way because we want people to keep on task, keep their mind on what the conversation's for. The conversation is for a quick, friendly, professional introduction to some system that's going to change their life. If we were approaching them talking about Tupperware or energy drink mix or lotion, we would approach it a different way. But because we have the ability to change people's lives, change their trajectory, change immediately what they're doing, they don't have to make more money to change their life. That's the other thing with these other companies. The only way their life will change is because they're going to make a lot of money. But they don't make a lot of money because when you sell a bottle of lotion, you get like 50 cents. So it's designed this way so that they can get your guests, your friends, your warm market, your top 25 can get a professional introduction to what's going on. And when I say professional, you don't ever have to have done it. You have the script right here, so you know how to act professionally. Remember the 4 core beliefs. This is one thing I do when we're sitting down. Doesn't matter if it's with 50 IMAs or I'm by myself making calls. I pull up the 4 core beliefs and I make sure that's something top of mind awareness. I guess we could go over them. Some people don't have them. Renatus is the best income opportunity in the country. Now, I also encourage you guys to use these lines with your prospects when you're talking to people. When they're like, well, why the heck would you call me and tell me this stuff? Like, the only reason I'm calling you is because this is the best income opportunity in the country. Man, don't you know? Everyone needs Renatus. Whether you realize it or not, everyone needs Renatus. And at the end of the day, look, I'm calling you because I am doing you a favor. And at the end of the day, it's all good because it's your loss if you say no. Okay? It's your loss if you say no. And your gain when you say yes. So it's all on you, baby. It's all on you. Either you in or you out. Either you get it or you don't. But I'm doing you a favor. It's the best income opportunity in the country. Everyone needs it, whether they're paying too much taxes, they don't have their banking lined up, they don't have enough rentals, something. Right now, Renatus is the best earning opportunity in the country. So grateful for compliance. Let me make a note. And I get to talk to Nicole today, so I'll find out if we're changing one of the 4 core beliefs. Hold on a sec. Hold on. Just gotta text myself. Best earning opportunity in the country. Okay. See, we're caring. We're understanding. All right, let's find out. I'll get back to you next week about it. Cool. All right. So use this script. Now, some of you are looking at this and going, oh, how am I going to make this work? You got a weird schedule, or you don't have a 5-star that has time to do this, or whatever excuse you can come up with. When I'm not available, but my teammates still want to make phone calls, and it says right here, I hope you don't mind. So say great attitude, and I thought of you. I hope you don't mind. But let's say Michael's not on the phone with you, or your 5-star's not on the line with you. Then we can say is, I hope you don't mind, but I told my partner about you and what a badass you are. So I'd love to introduce you. When can I get you on the phone with him and we can talk? And then get something scheduled. That's fine. Then you just make your top 25 calls. Hey, I hope you don't mind, but I told my business partner about you because, when he asked me, who do you know that's got a great head on their shoulders, I told him about you. So I hope you don't mind, but we got a great businessman. And like I said, I realized I may have caught you off guard. This was a spur of the moment thing. He asked me some interesting questions, and so I thought I'd give you a call. And I don't really know where you're at with life and business. Maybe things are going great. If you do know where they're going at with life and business, then you can just say, and since I know where you're at with life and business, I'm really happy and with this, and so I thought of you. I thought I'd briefly just describe what we're doing. It's real estate investing. on commercial, it's on residential, it's wholesaling, it's rentals. It's an incredible business. Have you ever thought of investing in real estate? And you could totally do this on your own, guys and gals. Totally do this on your own. You don't need 5-star. You don't need a pack member. Do it on your own. You're going to learn the most, control the most. Do it on your own. No excuses for not getting this done. If you talk to your top 25, on average, I've been doing years now. Every time I go to a different city, different state, I ask the people, how many people did it take for you to become 5-star? How many butts and seats, how many people had to view the information, come to a meeting for you to get 5-star? And the average is 2 to 20. Between 2 people and 20 people viewing the information, and the average new IMA is getting 5-star. Now, obviously, it'll be better with the next group of 20 they talk to, and the next group of 20 after that. Law of averages gets better. But across the country, for someone to become 5-star, it takes between 2 and 20 people to watch the information. Well, good thing you got 25 on your list. Just get it going now. Can we get this in an email? For you, Josh, anything. You already know. Here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, because it's such a short script. You guys realize? I zoomed in on it, but it's such a short script. I'm going to put it in the chat here. Then you can copy and paste it. Oh, it's Founders Webinar time, guys. My phone's yelling at me. What? What's going on, chat? Oh, weird. Oh, there we go. Huh, it's not letting me paste. It's too much. It's too much. It's too much. I'll text it to you. Someone will create a solution. I believe. All right, guys, I got to hop on this next call. There we go. Thanks for tuning in. I can minimize it, T-Money. Stand by. Man, it really looked like I had it all together. Now I can't even email somebody something. Okay, hold on. I don't know a faster way, so we're just going to do it this way. There we go. There we go. Okay, grab your screenshots. That's a shot for the screen. Highlighted it in blue. You don't like it in blue. There. Now no more blue. Okay, we got it, guys. We figured it out. Let's Working. Okay, go take that action. Massive action. Call all the people. Talk to you soon. Money Monday. Stay focused. Bye, guys.